What I'm circling around at the terrible cost of almost destroying the whole planet. Now the Western man comes to the conclusion that it was all necessary, as Nietzsche would say. I mean, nothing happens because you will. It all happens because it is fate, it must, it is. We have departed from this way in the arms of the Great Mother from the Minoan Crete some 3,000 or 4,000 years ago, and have embarked on the project of Greek civilization and Rome, and then the Middle Ages and Renaissance and science and enlightenment, and so was a detour to build a very strong egoistic, culture, that will, as if the mother Gaia, the earth, has understood that, okay, I have this human race here, these are my children, but I don't want to be mother forever. I would also like to be a lover and to be loved. And it's only possible if these children become grown up and they almost lose themselves and they almost lose me in the process. But this is the risk I have to take if I want to be loved truly. So when the romantic poets come and they celebrate nature and they love nature, and then the bards of the 21st century come who are romantic poets also, but writing poetry is not enough. Composing music to celebrate nature is not enough. They want to live it, truly, without any representation. They must. And this is a mode of experience to which the young nations of Africa and America, South America and Asia will come necessarily after they have their boxes full of property and science and power. Only then they will come to the disillusionment with all this and start and return in their own way to their old ways, like to the Taoist way. The Chinese will return to the early Taoist way. But first they must almost destroy themselves in the ego trip of, world domination. The African nations will return to their old empire mysticism and love of nature, but on a, as I say, always on a deeper level, because they will not seek for a world beyond the body perception and soul emotion. This was the it was the necessary trap that the early nations on the planet Earth have had to go through, because in the old times, when we felt the presence of immediate power of nature in us, this beauty, this kind of, that's what Schopenhauer calls das Erhaben, and the power of the huge mother, high mountains, beautiful lakes, deep trees, forests, storms, winds, the beautiful body of animals, that we could not accept it otherwise than to feel and to think on that ground that it is an expression of some higher world, mightier gods or some spirits that live somewhere else, and we have to pursue various techniques and Gnostic teachings and yogas and whatever to get there, to dissolve our presence here. No. This was a necessary mistake, because we didn't have science and rationalism and enlightenment and psychoanalysis and whatever. And we didn't have the hundreds and hundreds of years of trying hard to get there, to those other worlds. Similar, the pre-modern European man was trying to get rich, to have everything, to sit in his house like in a fortress with 2 cars and 5 televisions and many kitchen objects, and refrigerators with food and books and so on. Okay, and even big families now, and a lot of holidays and sport, and suddenly then we discovered it is nothing if I am not deeply, passively experiencing the real nature outside of my house. This ecological consciousness now this fighting for the planet, like the warming up fiction and all that stuff. It is an expression of this intuition that all is useless if there is not a healthy nature, but it is still being dealt with in the old warrior way. Conquer it by understanding and by protesting and fighting for it. No. You will also discover one day that you have a library full of ecological books, and you are a member of many political movements that fight for the planet, and you don't feel anything. You are conceptually imprisoned in your ideology about it. But remember, these are all necessary steps. You have to have your soul full of these abstract fictions. Only then you will feel that it is not what you really desire. What we really desire is passive dissolution of the ego in the arms of nature, but on a higher level, deeper level, let us say, not always higher, as if higher was better. No, deeper is better than higher. Deep ecology is born. That is, there is no other world. And if you realize this deeply, then only then will you be ready to flow passively from one moment of beauty to the other, because there's nothing else. And all the property, all the competition, all the money, and all the representation as self-representation will become, you see, empty, boring actually, a hindrance. A hindrance to this way of life in which you really are present in what is the phenomenal experience, and then you will advance a culture which is, beauty of the body, beauty of motion, beauty of the surroundings, and love to diversity of experience phenomena, which can be only lived through if you do not disturb the source of it, the natural source, the planet. It's a different ecology. This is deep ecology, really deep. And then you must feel the tribal opposition to it is a war, where explosion, fast actions, trajectories of rockets and weapons, and confused men that are very, very worried and calculate how to survive and run to and fro under huge pressure. And nature gets devastated with poisonous stuff, weapons, atomic weapons and whatever. Viruses are produced to kill. Okay, weapons are produced to kill. This is so to say this is the hell. This is the only real hell that there is. The hell of a tense, worried consciousness, ego that nevertheless wants to overcome and rule. And when there are many of them like that, then this is hell now. The endless war of one ego against the other, and destroying Mother Nature at the same time. I had to somehow formulate this because I am dissatisfied with the media swamp. I look at it, and the mainstream and the side stream and the whirlwinds of all kinds of stream, all the commentaries, and they all, doesn't matter on which side they are, they all have a tense voice, and they want to push through a certain idea. Either they are, on some side of ideology, or the other side, the critiques of this ideology. They are either for war or they are for peace, but they have a tense voice. There is this will act of understanding is power. You have to follow me because I understand, I have the truth. And if not, then, I will crack you either truly with weapons or with my ideas. Oh, no. To understand this, that we have, as Western men, have gone through this superego trip of many hundreds of years, to be able to give it up. Only after that you will be able to give it up. And to tolerate the young ego trip of those nations that we have subdued, to be older, wise brothers who say, okay, I know you want to win now. Okay, so you see, I show you the techniques, you can win, I don't care. But you see, let's have legs up on the balcony after that. It would be a game of tennis, let's get legs up and watch the moon and drink a beer or a lemonade and be, passively satisfied with what is. I like this because I recent days, months, I wake up with this tension of what I have absorbed from the media the evening before, and I think that this is not it. This is not a solution. There will never be a solution. They can never agree cognitively. There must be a third deep level for both of them to laugh a little bit about the madness. I mean, as Nietzsche said, going through the cities of man, I'm going through a madhouse, because it is. And the Buddhists and the Vedantists were also close to it. Moha, the madness of the ego. So we have to laugh about it, and the wiser, and this is the Western man now, at least in his deep philosophy, deep ecology, has to step aside. Otherwise there will be no man at all. They will destroy themselves in their moha, madness of the ego and superego of various cultures. I mean, it can be, if you look at an individual man who has had his success in business or whatever, in sport, and in conquering and understanding, what can be more? What is more for you there? You will die like an exhausted battery. The only transformation you can experience is you give it all up and you start to enjoy what is. And this is what we have to do as culture, as civilization of the West. And the young brothers who secretly admire us and want to be like us and want to be better and exert themselves, they will have this moment of bliss when they see the older brother has said, let's sit down and legs up, and we don't care, we don't have to rule anymore, okay? We don't have to be the best and the first. And this is a bliss if it is truly experienced, not as a kind of calculative trick here to trick you. We really don't care anymore. But then there will be a certain kind of admiration, and these younger nations will go quickly through the ego trip and superego trip, and they will become all rich and covered with stuff, and then suddenly they will realize, oh, this is also not, deeply pleasant and deeply rewarding, and we are ill. Okay, so, and then they will remember their old traditions, as they lived as young early cultures in the arms of the mother, and they will also go this way. Otherwise, no way, no solution. Otherwise, this will be the end of the human race. So let's flow now to the arms of the mother and become like children. It was a mistake. They wanted to be like gods, and they invented the gods. So they wanted to be like a fiction, and they ended in virtual reality, and they have abolished themselves. No, we don't want to be like gods because they don't exist. We want to be like children again because we were children, and we have enjoyed it truly. And there is one criteria of phenomenal correctness. We will not talk about political correctness. We will talk now about phenomenal correctness, phenomenal truthfulness. If I manage to voice this unclear pressure in me, I really feel well. And after all this, maybe that what Nietzsche meant with this child, this third stage of the triad on the way to Superman. First we learn everything. We are the camels. This was the period of study, both for individuals and for the cultures. Then we are tigers or lions. We run away from and live alone in the mountains. That is, we are independent. In some form, it may mean that we, as a culture, dominate because we are strong lions, and then we become children. That is, we don't need any motivation from the tradition of forings. That we don't need any motivation from the conceptual worlds. We are fully embraced by the phenomena, and wind and sun, and it becomes again as if we were in the body of our mother before birth, but this time we are in the body of the planetary mother, and the phenomena that we experience are sufficient to live and to love and enjoy and be healthy in this world. This is the child of Zarathustra. But it would not be possible without the stages of the camel and the lion. We must hope that those younger brothers of us do not crush us now because of envy or hate or revenge. But this is the risk we have to take, because we are our older brothers. We are wiser. Enough said. And I will meet you in the beauty of second childhood on this planet, in the arms of the mother. Phenomenal, in the phenomenal world of the eternal now. Because if you really live fully in harmony with the passively experienced phenomena, you really live in the eternal now.